again, YouTube. This is Dr. Kendo here with Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. And we're actually doing a new mode that there's actually several modes if you're playing on the World Tour. And World Tour itself is one of several modes because there's a matchmaking mode, which is to go online, which in itself has 3 sub-modes. There's Grand Prix if you're playing local, and, Time Attack if you're playing local, all that good stuff. And so I'm going to do the medium versus right here. Basically what you're doing in versus is you're 1-by-1 facing rivals, quote unquote, which is basically just other characters, computer controlled. And basically what you have to do is you either have to get far enough ahead of them or you have to attack them enough that they get far enough behind you, because you're going to see actually right now that I'm playing as Dr. Eggman, he isn't unlockable, so I did have to unlock him. But you can see in the bottom right hand corner right now, we're going up against Sonic, and there's a little icon that has Eggman's head, and then there's one that has Sonic's head. Basically, if you get your character in the green of that meter right there, or if the other character gets in the red, or vice versa, then that person wins or loses. So basically, you don't want to get in the red or whatever, and the little head icons will start blinking if you get far enough away from them, and if like the game's about to end, and one person's about to win. And so you have to do this 4 other times after this first rival, because this first race was against 5 racers or whatever. And so the medium mode I should be able to clear no problem. The other thing you'll notice probably, or maybe you haven't, but if you didn't, I will just point it out, is that clock up there. And that's what I was talking about. Okay, right there. You saw Sonic's head start blinking if you were looking at the meter right there, and now I'm going up against Shadow. So as you can see, it just substitutes out another person. But basically, I was going to say that clock up there, you see it's ticking right now. It's got green if you're ahead, and it's a red clock, I guess, if you're behind. But if that clock goes down to 0, whoever is in front of the other racer will win the versus. So basically, obviously you want to be in front if it's like a really close call and everything, and there's a chance that you could lose, could win, you don't really know. Well, obviously, if you just kind of sped up and got in front of the other person when the clock counts 0, you would win! So that's what you're going for. And so obviously, actually I think Blowfish, which serve kind of like in Mario Kart bananas, they're very similar. Blowfish is one of the best items to have in this, because you could drop a Blowfish behind you if you like just get right behind, like have the person lined up right behind you, and then just bam, drop a Blowfish right there, because the Blowfish really slows people down and stuff. So that would definitely, yeah, there's a Blowfish right here. And another thing also is, of course, putting Blowfish on the boost. There's the purple boost pads down below. And so if you put a Blowfish there, most of the time they don't have any option. Either just they would have to say, okay, I'm going to not boost, or I'm going to have to go across the boost to get hit by a Blowfish. So that's a fun place to put them, of course, or anywhere where visibility is hard. And so we defeated Amy pretty fast, and so now I'm up against Knuckles, and Tails is going to be the last one, and Dr. Eggman, if I didn't mention, which I'm pretty sure I didn't. Oh, that was sweet. That was another good move, is to use the, that was the Hot Rod item. It's basically a jet-like thing that will overheat if you don't use it quick enough, but it boosts you forward, and if you use it around other people, it'll push them aside and make them spin out, so it's got multiple uses for it. So, I was going to say, though, that Eggman's stats are actually, he's kind of a speed, kind of a boost character and everything. Of course, it just depends on what mod you're using. I believe that I'm just using the regular standard mod here. I often actually like to balance Eggman, because then it'll give him a little bit of acceleration, a little bit of handling, which is what he's a little bit weaker on, and then just kind of give you some all-around stats, of course, while kind of leading in speed and boost. And his all-star is just decent. And so now we're up against Tails, and so while we're doing this, of course, one thing about Dr. Kendo commentaries that I do in pretty much every commentary is that I like to increase audience interaction here. So for Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, I like to take questions so that I can answer them and annotate to your channel, just like I do on my Mario Kart, Pokemon commentaries, and such. And so the first question that we have actually comes from Crazy5392, and that's Crazy with a K. And of course, I annotate and link to the channels, so you'll always know how they're spelled and who they are. Before I answer Crazy's question, it looks like we have finished this race. So so medium was no problem, finished that. So what I'll do, of course, is go ahead and do the hard. Oh, but we've leveled up, and so now we've got the handling mod for Dr. Eggman. And so what you can do here is you could just press play again, so you don't have to go through all the menus or whatever, but I did play again and just went through hard. This level is really gorgeous. I love this level. It's amazing, actually. And so as I've, commented on this game, the levels of this game are just wonderful. They really went all out and did a good job on level design. Absolutely awesome. So Crazy's question anyway, Crazy is actually a very active subscriber. I'm definitely down with him. He says, can you do any cheats/glitches? And so in this game, so far, I don't really know of glitches that actually help you. Any glitches that I've seen have always just been really bad glitches, the kinds that you don't want. Cheats, I'm not really sure actually. I haven't looked up cheats for this game, but I don't think that there are any to my knowledge. I'm sure many people on YouTube, since YouTube is full of people who just want to correct everything, I'm sure that somebody will see this and be like, actually you could do this and you could do that, and so whatever. But to my knowledge, I don't believe that you can do that in this game, and you don't really need it. I think that this game is extremely fun on its own, and doesn't really need you to glitch the game or whatever. And if you're kind of more looking for glitches like shortcuts or something, I don't know, perhaps, they do have a lot of alternate routes or routes, I don't know. Some people say routes, some people say routes. I guess I say it interchangeably, actually, because I can't even think of which one I say normally. But they do have a lot of alternate ways to go on each level, and so you can actually, for instance, often I've found that the left, if there's a fork in the road, if you take the left direction, it often leads to what's more dangerous, but it's going to get you more boosts or get you somewhere quicker. And so the route to the right is often a lot safer, but it's not going to be the quicker route typically. And that's not always, it's not every level, but that's just kind of what I've kind of seen as a general rule and everything. And so we're of course doing pretty good here, and hard difficulty, there's actually a level above that. It's the expert difficulty, or S class, because right now we're doing the A class, the hard class. It definitely can get challenging on expert, but you know what, if you can beat hard, often you can make the jump to expert and pull it out okay. So usually S class is fine, whatever. So you can actually see now at the top, you can see that clock right there. It's going down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm, of course, ahead of Amy right now, so I don't think I'm in danger. Yep, okay, so I'm the winner. So that's all good, and we're against Knuckles now. This is kind of a fun thing because this is a Sonic the Hedgehog genre level, that there's so many characters in this game that there's going to be levels of each genre of, Sega games and stuff like that. Well, this one being Sonic, we're of course playing against a lot of Sonic characters. Since I did Eggman, I think that Eggman actually would have been one of the characters that we would have had to go up against, but since I selected him, it's subbed him out for like Shadow or somebody. And so, actually you just noticed right there, I tried to hit Tails with an ice. You cannot hit them too far after it says like, go, because like, they actually have a period of momentary invincibility. So if you, for instance, carry an item over, your item will roll over if, for instance, you like beat Amy or something, and then you had an item when you beat her. I kept the ice, for instance, so right there, I tried to hit Tails right when the match started, and that's one thing you gotta remember, which I don't always remember, is that you can't hit them right when it, like, starts up again, but soon after. So it is actually to your advantage to hang on to items, if not to use them on a whim or whatever. So if you are way ahead like I am right now, it is probably better to hang on to items. You could roll the dice, of course, and see if you can get a better item, but I think holding on to it is a little bit more worthwhile. I didn't exactly do that in this match, but I know that I am well ahead, and there we go. That's the victory against Tails. So again, if you guys want to ask questions, go ahead and ask whatever you want about this game, and I will annotate back to your channel. I appreciate your attention, and I'll catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.
You actually think you can beat me?
I go to home and after when I wanna get my focus on me and all the dudes on the track making renaissance. Everything I face, I mean a challenge, I say bring it on. Finding darkness on the end, happen, no it's not for long.